customer call on a Sunday afternoon asking if I could make a cake topper for her by Monday at noon. And I said, yeah, I probably can do that. So she sent me this. She needed this font and these names. And I don't know where she got this, but it was pretty much like she liked it, but she wanted to turn it into a cake topper. So it says Ben and Riley. And to do it quickly, I went ahead and put, she wanted the date 6/2/26 included. So instead of just working on this by hand, manually on my own, I decided to get a little help from AI. So I went into Google's AI. I think their AI is called Nano Banana 2 or something like that. Anyway, I just took this picture that she'd sent. This is a bitmap. You zoom in long enough, far enough, you can see it fuzzy on the sides, which won't work for cutting with a laser. So I needed to vectorize it. But before I did that, I needed it to look like a cake topper. So I told it I wanted a cake topper using those words and that date. And this is what it gave me. Now, it's not perfect, and nothing about AI is, but it was really close. I liked it. She liked it. But it's still a bitmap. So let me show you what I did from here. Also, it doesn't have the stick part down here that you would shove into stick into the cake to hold it in place. So that's real simple to add. I'm just going to quickly go through some of this for you, show you what I did. So we're going to ignore this one because we've already got the AI version over here. And you can see it's pretty simple. It added some flowers and stuff to it, but I just took the flowers off. But we need it in the vector. So again, I'm going to show you how to get that. So we got it selected. Go up here to, and I usually like to see what size it is. So let's go to bitmap and hit resample. And it's 72 inches, 72 dots per inch. I like at least 300 dots per inch. So let's just change that to 300. And click down here, and that automatically goes to 300. And then just click OK. And you don't see any change, but it changes it a little. So now let's go to trace bitmap, outline trace. And usually I use clip art, and that's what I'm going to do here. So clip art. I'll make this bigger so we can see what's going on. Right down here you can see the progress. 40%, 42, 50. It doesn't take it too long usually. And there we have it. Well, that looks pretty good. But I don't like the white. I just took the white around the outside. Well, to get rid of all of it, you go to here and click color from entire image. It takes all the white away. Let's go to colors. It's got 7 colors. I really only need 2, so I'm going to change that to 2. And then click off of it. Or hit. Yeah, and click up here. To leave it RGB. And then you can see the progress going again down here. And it's finished. Okay, it didn't change it to, all right, let's just back down, go back down to 2. I'm just going to click it down this time. Oh, I had to get to 1. Okay. So I got it pretty good. So I'm going to go back to my settings here, and it's at 84%. I think that looks good, so I'm just going to leave it like it is and hit OK. When you get back over here, it looks like nothing has changed. But if I have my nudge factor set to 4 inches. Whatever is selected, I'm going to hit my right arrow key on my keyboard. And it's going to move it over 4 inches every time I hit it. So I'm going to zoom into that and look at it. And okay, you can see it's kind of jaggy. I'll tell you what, let's just try that one more time. Let's go to outline trace, clip art. And this time, I'm going to tell it, here's the progress again. I'm going to tell it 100% this time. Smooth that up a little bit, I think. And then the colors, well, again, colors from the entire image. And let's go with colors over here and just change it to 2. And then watch the progress. Make sure it gets to 100%. It's taking a little bit longer this time. Probably because I told it to. Okay, there it goes. Let's go back to settings. And then let's just zoom in real quick. The way I'm zooming in is with the scroll button wheel on my mouse, in and out. Okay, that looks better. So let's hit OK again. And again, let's move it over and zoom back in just to make sure. Yeah, it's much smoother. And we can smooth that up if we want to. It's probably not going to make any difference because we're going to cut it out of some plywood. But let's just get this one out of the way by moving it down and moving this one back to the center. Just hit P on the keyboard after you select it, and it goes back to the middle. Okay, well, I'm going to show you a little bit how to smooth that up some. I'm not going to smooth the whole thing, but I'll just show you how to do that. So I'm going to right-click on my red color or RGB over here while this is selected. And that's going to put a red cut line around everything. And then I'm going to go up and left-click my left mouse button on this little line right here. And what that will do is it'll take the fill out of it. So now we got our vector cut lines. And again, that's going to be smooth enough. You shouldn't have any problem with that. But if you did want to smooth it up, let me just zoom in a little bit and show you what we can do. So let's go to this button here is Shape Tool. Click on that. All right, before we do that, let's go back to Select It. Select it and go to Object and Convert to Curves. And then click on your Stage tool. Shape tool, sorry. Well, that didn't work either. Sorry about that. Hang on just a second. Let's see what's going on. Object. So you go in here, it says group, and we need to ungroup it first. And then go back to, there we go. So you know you got the right deal when you see all those nodes show up. So I'm just going to do one little section to show you how to smooth it up. You can see this one right here is kind of jaggy, and this is kind of even angles back. The best thing, one of the best tools over here is into the shape tool. If you press and hold or press that little arrow, that little black part in the bottom right hand corner, you get all these other tools. Go to the smooth tool and click on it. And then you just press and hold. And what I'm doing, I'm clicking and letting up and just moving that back and forth. So I'm clicking and holding my left mouse button, and I'm giving it more and going back and forth over the part I want to smooth. And you can see what it's doing. So let's go to another section real quick, see if we can find so this one right here is a little bit, it's not quite rounded enough, I don't think. So I'm going to press and hold and move that back and forth across it. Of course, you can always do this manually, but the smooth tool works really well. Usually. Now, it doesn't always do what you want. Anyway, there we go. So I'm not going to do the rest of it. And there's another piece right down here I fixed later. I didn't like the way it merged this completely into the side. But I'll fix that. I'm not going to bore you with all the details of how that worked. I will tell you real quick what I did with this, because if you cut this out like it is, it's going to, the pieces are going to fall apart. Same with the bin, the E and the YLEE. Again, I separated this a little bit more. I'm not going to go through all that right now because it's just, it'll bore you. But I will show you what I did to connect all of these, because these will fall out also. If you cut all this out with a laser, your Y, L, and E, there's nothing for them to hold on to, so it's just going to fall out. So here's what I did. I just went over here and I clicked on, let's go back and have this selection, and then click on the rectangular tool. And I just quickly drew a small, skinny rectangle all the way into there and all the way into there. And then I did the same thing up here. I'm just going to copy it right now so I get the same width, thickness. So hit there, select that and hit the plus button on your keyboard. That duplicates it, and then drag that. Get your arrow, your 4 pointed arrow keys. Drag that up to where you want it. And I want it just at the bottom, right in there. And I don't need it that long up here, so I'm going to bring it back. And you can either bring it into here. For now, let's just bring it into there. Okay. So this one is in. So let's do this. Now let's just select the whole thing. And I'm going to duplicate the whole thing first. I'm going to move it up. And the reason I did that is if for some reason we mess something up beyond repair, we can go back to that and we don't have to start all over. But anyway, now I'm going to select all of this and hit weld up here at the top. Click that button and you see what it did. Exactly what we needed. Now the E and the N, well, the E is going to stay in place because of that little bar. And then okay, this little piece right here we don't need, so let's click off of that. And then just select it and delete. Oop, see there where I messed up. Let's break it apart again or ungroup it. Break the curve apart. If it's showing that you can't ungroup it. Yeah, so break the curve apart. And then you can go in here. Well, let's click off of it and select that one little line and just delete it. Okay. Now, one more thing we need to do is these 2 dashes are going to fall out too. So something similar. Let's just go back to our rectangle tool and let's click here. Oop. Yeah, that'll work. Let's just make it about like that. And then, so now I've got that. Let's select that and let's rotate it. So if you click it once, you got it selected. You click it again, you got these little rotation bars, and you kind of slide it up. That fits pretty good right there. I'm going to duplicate that with a plus sign on my keyboard. Click it again, and then just drag it up for that one. This one needs to be a little bit longer, so I'm going to go here to let's just drag that. Okay, I goofed that one up a little bit. That's okay. We'll change it into an object. We'll go object and then convert to curve, and then go back up to our shape tool, and then we can grab these 2 nodes and drag them into the 2. Something like that. Okay. So now let's go ahead and change this one to an object too. So select that one. Object, convert to curve. And before we do anything else, let's get rid of these two little dashes here. That's not going to be any good for us. So again, I'm going to select the whole thing. I'm going to duplicate that again, so in case I mess something up, move it out of the way, select all of this, and go again up to weld. Oh, that's no good this time. So let's do it by hand real quick. So let's come up here to the crop tool. You click and hold on it, it comes down, you get this virtual segment delete key. Click on that. Then you go in here and, well, we don't need this. We just click on that, it disappears. This disappears. That. Okay, let's see. We could click it right there, but to make that more consistent, let's go and drag these further in. Something like that. Then you go back to our virtual segment delete key. Click here, 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 here. Just what's not supposed to be there. And you can even click and drag through and get rid of stuff altogether. Now, one more thing we need to do, so that's going to work. But now let's select the whole thing again. Click that select key, select it all. And this time let's go up here and hit the combine button. And that should. Now to test this to make sure it's going to be right, it probably will, even if you got other problems, it'll probably be fine. But let's go over here and let's just click my left mouse button on the black and fill it up. I'm sorry. You got to select it first. And then hit the left key on it, and that fills it. And it all feels good, and so it worked out fine. So basically all I need left to do is put a stick on it. And I'm just going to use another rectangular tool. And I'm going to put it, let's just draw a rectangle. And let's drag it up. Put it inside there. And let's just go back to our segment delete key. Drag through there and click all that. And now I'm going to show you one more little thing. Let's select this and this. Hold the shift button down. And then hit this button. You see all these nodes showing up. I'm going to select these two nodes and those two nodes. And I'm going to come over here, and I have join curves. If you don't have it over here on the right hand side, you can go to Windows, Dockers, and then click on join curves, and that little check mark means it's already out and ready to grow. So I'm just going to hit apply. And there it is. They're all welded together now, all one piece. Only other thing I might want to do is I'm going to select these two, and I'm going to go to properties. Actually, I'm not even going to do that. I'm just going to quickly do something. I'm going to add a node right here in the middle. And to do that, I go right here, I double click, and then I drag it straight down. Just to put a point on it. And you can round those off if you want, but it's just going to be down inside the cake, so it doesn't matter. So basically, that's it for the design work. And I'm going to just make sure these are all hairline, and you see up here that they are. I've got everything selected in their hairline. So hairline, on at least on my epilogue laser, tells the laser to, you're going to cut it right there. And that's what we need. So that's the design work. We're going to go now into the laser and cut it out. And basically we'll be finished. So see you in just a minute. Bye.